Hello again, friends. I still can't put down Tears of the Kingdom, but I think I've picked up a few more tips along the way that I thought I would share with you just like last time. There's a handful of things I might reference in this video that I talked about before, so go check that out if you haven't already, but otherwise, let's hop into more tips for Tears of the Kingdom. Alright, let's get into it. One of the great benefits of using a one-handed weapon, such as a broadsword, is the ability to freely have a shield handy and shield parry. If in Breath of the Wild, if you used a two-handed weapon, such as a spear or claymore, you sacrifice that ability to freely shield parry without having to alternate between weapon and shield. In Tears of the Kingdom, there's a way to circumvent this. Fusing a shield to any two-handed weapon, such as a spear or claymore, allows you to freely shield parry without having to put away that weapon. The return of Floor Masters might be one of the scariest additions to Tears of the Kingdom, and a lot of people have asked me about the best ways to take these guys down. It's simpler than it sounds. Bomb arrows. Bomb arrows are very effective against these guys. Since they're sort of huddled together in a swarm, the splash damage from the bomb arrow is great at damaging all the hands and keeping them stunned momentarily. So just remember, aim for the eye and bombs away. In the last video, I talked about the damage bonus that you get for fusing two Zonai pieces together to make a new weapon. That bonus applies somewhat to shields. The performance of things like flame emitters is enhanced when attached to a Zonai shield. And you even get a visual indicator of this, with the shield giving off this cool little glow effect. Elemental magic makes a return here, and ice in particular is very, very useful. So a sapphire magic rod or staff is particularly useful to keep handy, although you could just as easily fuse an icicles to a stick and get the same effect. This allows you to make platforms in water and even in lava. It's really useful to have handy, and a great alternative to making lava platforms if you don't have a hydrant handy. If you miss having Revali's Gale, well, Tears of the Kingdom actually has you covered with a few alternatives. Carried over from Breath of the Wild, the old spicy pepper trick still works. Simply set a spicy pepper on fire and it creates an updraft, which you can use to gain some elevation. This same trick also works with the newly added pine cones, which work the same as spicy peppers, creating a sudden updraft. A couple other alternatives include spring shields, and my personal favorite, the rocket shield. It's as simple as it sounds. Fuse a rocket to a shield and you can gain a lot of air. In fact, I think the rocket shield actually gets you up even higher than Revali's Gale ever did. Speaking of rockets, are there any Zonai devices that you just can't get enough of? Well, the Zonai device dispensers that you can find dotted around the map are displayed on the map with this green icon, and hovering over it you can see exactly what devices are dispensed from it. It'll only show after you've used the machine and gained those devices for the first time, but it's recorded on the map here. So if you're short on a particular device, you can check exactly which dispenser you need to head over to and spend a few charges to stock up on supplies. Last time I talked about navigating the depths quite a bit, particularly how the map of the depths reflects that of the surface of Hyrule, with light roots and shrines being in the same location, and bodies of water on the surface of Hyrule being walled off sections down below in the depths. One thing I knew about, but for some reason it didn't include in my script last time, is that the topography is also reflected here, although inverted. So tall mountains in Hyrule are deep trenches down below in the depths, and vice versa. So again, you can always toggle the minimap if you don't have the area mapped out down below or up above to give you an extra hand navigating. And my final tip for this video is all about Sundelions. Sundelions are little plants that are commonly found on Sky Islands, and while the game does teach you this, I'd like to talk a little bit more about its values. So when exploring the depths, whether it's from the Gloom itself or the various Gloom-powered enemies down there, taking Gloom damage is a very real threat. Gloom damage actually lowers your maximum heart capacity, as reflected by these broken heart icons. These broken hearts are recovered either when returning to the surface of Hyrule or when standing under light roots that are activated. But cooking Sundelions also has the Gloom restoration effect, restoring those broken hearts. As a general rule, cooking one Sundelion is equal to 3 broken hearts. So then just go from there. 2 for 6, 3 for 9, etc. The only thing is that it restores the broken heart, but it doesn't actually refill those hearts unless you include other ingredients in with the dish that do have that healing effect. A piece of meat or something like that should do the trick. And those are my tips for today's video. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out my previous video for even more tips of the kingdom, and I hope you found this at least somewhat helpful. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye-bye! Thank you all so much for watching. Before we end this off, I just wanted to say thank you to the lovely people who supported me on Patreon or here on YouTube as a channel member, including but not limited to Grey Mage, Brenda, Tetra, Callie, Hylian West, Justin, Midnight Naomi, and Bunny. Thank you all so much for the support and for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye!